Hi guys, I'm Chris Brady, and today I wanted to tell you about a couple of things. Today is the last day for Create the Calm. If you are not already in, tonight is it. I very much recommend this course, especially at this time. We are about to go into the holiday season. You're going to have your kids home again if you don't already. There's just so much going on right now with different states going back into lockdown. This is going to be the time to practice these skills with your children. This is all about regulating those emotions, learning how to do all of these things through a very mindful approach, including the learning portion. So this is for children who really struggle with traditional learning in school, dyslexia, ADHD, autism. These are areas of concern because our kids get told that they can't do it. And this program is going to show you exactly how they can. They do go off and finish high school. They do go off to college and university. And if you saw that student I had on the other day, Haley, how she's now in university and she struggled so much with anxiety that she was thinking very much about dropping out. It was basically her next move. These are the things that we can stop now. And it really has to do first with helping to regulate those emotions. You're also going to learn how to regulate your own. I know all parents want a little more patience, and this is how we get it. And then the second portion of this is that learning piece. This is going to open up their entire brain to you, and you're going to understand the communication styles, the differences that just slight changes at home can make, and the way that you can communicate these needs to any school. I've been on both sides of this, so I can tell you this absolutely works every single time. I very much urge you to get in today. This will be it. I will not be offering this course again until 2021, at which time it will not look like this. You will not get the one-on-one support that you'll be getting right now. So that's closing today. And then the second part that I wanted to talk to you about is I did a webinar earlier today, and I was talking about, that feelings wheel I had sent out late last week. I sent everyone on the list a feelings wheel. And basically, you can see it here in the center. And it goes through, what are the different words that we can use for feelings, kind of what layer or stage of the game are we at when we're able to describe our feelings in different ways. And I talked a little bit last week about alexithymia, which is a condition that does inhibit your ability to understand and describe your feelings, but that's just one condition. There are many other factors to this, which we go into in the Create the Calm program. But it's one of those things where if we're not aware that that's happening for our kids, we don't understand why they can't tell us how they're feeling. Even as something as simple as how's your day today? And we just always get good. Right. And a lot of people think that that's, my kid just doesn't really want to talk to me or whatever it is. But very often there's not a lot of emotional expression there. And you and I both know that we didn't get taught a lot of different emotional expression. And so it's taking that on board and really communicating that with our kids and letting them on board with that. So one of the problems that I often get from parents is that, we give out these mindful activities, these breathing exercises, you see them all over online. But, I get, my kid can't do this. My kid can't sit still long enough for this. My kid can't, doesn't seem to be able to calm themselves down with the breathing, or they won't take the breath as slowly as you're supposed to be. Whatever the case may be, my kid can't do this. And one of the main reasons why your child might not be there yet is because these activities are really nice when people are, just giving them out, but they have to have the basic foundation first before they can go into these techniques, because they won't really see the advantage of it if they're just all of a sudden they're supposed to start doing these breathing techniques, right? So they really have to develop an understanding of, why are we doing this? How does our body work in order to make this happen and make this work for our body and our brain? So going through this information with them, okay, is really great. But because I had given out the feelings wheel, I wanted to follow up with just 3 different ways that you can use this to kind of gauge where your child is right now. So this is, one of our main concerns is figuring out where to meet them, where they're at right now, right? And oftentimes we think we know, but you may be surprised. Okay, once you start delving in, you might be surprised at how little they actually do know about feelings and communicating those feelings. And that's okay, we just need to know about it. So one of the ways is to figure out the level of body language that they're actually able to understand. So this is, yes, facial expressions, and then other types of body language. So when we're going through that wheel, we can talk to them about, okay, so here's the, if we're starting right in the middle, okay, which is kind of those basic emotions. What does happiness look like? Now, happiness can look in slightly different ways in different contexts, right? And so we want to start talking about that. What would it look like if you were really happy about, you're at a sporting event and somebody just scored a goal? What does that kind of happy or excitement look like, right? And so they can demonstrate that. And then you would say, okay, so what kind of happy would it look like if, you were in your classroom and you got your test back and you got a really good grade and you were happy about it? What would that look like? And so just getting them to gauge what does happiness look like first, okay? Before we even get into the feeling of what that is, what does it look like? What does their body look like? What are they able to do in that context of that situation? Because they can't jump up and scream in the classroom, right? So what is it that would look like? And just seeing how much they can come up with on their own. Okay, so there's one point that we very much need to know. The second point is the vocabulary. We need to know how well their vocabulary has extended with feeling, okay? So much of what we learn about feeling is just, it's either good or it's bad. It's very black and white, right? And if it's bad, we kind of push it away. We kind of don't want to feel that. We kind of suppress that. We say, suck it up, it'll get better, and we move on with our day, right? But we don't actually express it other than maybe through a little tantrum, or we don't talk about that anger and what that anger feels like. And so that's what we really want to get to, is communicating what is it that you're feeling right now. And so when you look at that, sorry, I'll be looking this way. When you look at that inside wheel there, the feelings wheel, on the outer edge, there are a lot of just slightly more descriptive, detailed vocab that they can use to start understanding the differences or the nuances of happiness and the nuances of anger, just so they can start developing the language, because they need the words in order to communicate it. And you'll be very surprised at how few words they actually have. So really going through that with them. Again, this is just for your information so that you understand that the reason you're getting good or bad is because they might not have another word for it, another nuanced word for it. And then the third thing is the feeling. They need to know, where is that feeling coming from? So if it's coming from a place in their body, a sensation, right, that we're having. So there's differences between emotions and sensations. And so we want to figure out, where is that coming from in your body right now? What does that feel like in your body right now? Now, this takes practice. This is probably one of the most key, is that where is this feeling in your body right now? Because this is where we're able to start tracking it back. Okay, because that behavior or that outburst or that meltdown or whatever didn't happen from just that point right there. It's happened from several trigger points adding up throughout the day to get them to this. Okay, so when we start to notice these feelings in our body, we start to say, okay, well, I can track this back to, I start to get really sweaty palms when I'm nervous. Okay, so what happens before the sweaty palms? I kind of, sometimes I feel like a little lump in my throat, or maybe they feel, a bit queasy in their stomach. Whatever it is, just keep going back, because we want to find that first sensation, because that's where we're able to intervene at the best point possible, right? With a breathing technique or another mindful activity, so that it doesn't get to that melting point. That's what we're really trying to get at. So understanding that is really absolutely key to helping with those meltdowns. And like I said, yes, of course, we go through this in Create the Calm much more extensively. But this is a good starting point for you guys, especially if you feel like your kid just can't do those exercises. It's because these 3 things haven't been established yet. And once you establish those first, then you can move on to, okay, once we're at that point of intervention, we can put in this technique. Right? And then they start to see a reason and a purpose for those techniques. All right, that's what I want to talk to you today about. So if you haven't joined Create the Calm yet, and if you're even on the fence at all, I urge you to join. This is going to be amazing. It's going to change the entire dynamics of your family, and absolutely your child's ability to learn and regulate their emotions, which is lifelong. So I urge you to join up. We will be starting this week. So it's going to be fast. It's going to be 4 amazing weeks. And if you want a recording of the webinar that happened today, just pop a message down in the bottom and I will send that to you tomorrow. Okay, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.